Hey guys, I'm Bongboy Killer. I have made lots of rap songs and videos on YouTube, amongst other platforms. I'm also on Spotify. I'm also on SoundCloud. I am also on Apple Music. But I am not here to make ads about my diverse music career. I'm also not here to make ads about my gaming vids. I am here to entertain my fans. I strive to be a positive guy and to entertain all my fans. And I truly believe in the joy of entertainment that the world is of today. And I'm here to offer and to reach out to any fans, be they of my music, of my gaming videos, be they people who know me in my personal life, be they family, friends, loved ones, people I care about, and even the whole wide world. I just want to share a moment with you all and give you guys positivity, feedback, love, encouragement that you all need and that you all so deeply deserve because I am an entertainer, and as an entertainer, I strive to make content for the masses of people on this earth. And I seriously wish that everybody just be kind and respectful towards each other because I I I am very respectful. I have been very respectful towards all of my fans and I condone no disrespect in the comments down below and on this channel. If you're going to say anything disrespectful, I'll report your comments and I'll remove them because we are in this my channel. I am a good vibes only positive guy who believes in only spreading messages of joy and happiness. If you don't believe in that, by all means take your negativity elsewhere because this is a place of non-judgment. This is a place of joy, happiness, peace, love, fun, and only good things. It's a good vibes only place. So, um I am going to make a video for you guys about life in general and about why we should enjoy the life that we have and that we should be thankful and respectful towards one another because we all we all contribute to something larger in life, a happy world, a happy environment, a happy planet, and we just want to be able to give and take happily. But when we take, we don't take from or away from. We take what we're given. Like, you can take all the happiness that I give you, and likewise, I'll take all the happiness that you give me. But I'm not going to take it away from you or from you, as in stealing it from you. And likewise, I don't do the same with you. So, you don't do it to me, I don't do it to you. So, anyways, I believe that as as an artist, as an entertainer, that people deserve to be given happiness and to have someone in their life that cares for them. And I can give all sorts of good advice, positivity, feedback, life hacks, and this is primarily the stuff I'm going to be making on my channel. So stay tuned for any more information and for any more contents that I'm going to be releasing. I will keep you all nice and informed and in the now about what I will be making on my YouTube channel. So I sincerely wish, to all of my fans that you all live a happy life and I can definitely spread some messages of positivity and words of wisdom as you go through it. So, everyone at some point has struggles. We all do. I do, you do, everyone else around us does. And people, they they say sometimes good things to us, sometimes bad things. Sometimes they mean well, sometimes they don't. There are so many human beings on the planet, and some of us have just lost sight of what we've truly become. But many of us are still happy people. Many of us are still joyful people. Many of us are still striving for a life of peace, love, and happiness, like Bob Marley and the Wailers, and reggae, and the free world, and away from war and woes and conflict. And I agree. Everything that's been on television, like COVID, the war on Ukraine, Gaza, Israel, I don't pay attention to that. I stay in a bubble of my entertainment and my happiness. And I'm willing to extend that bubble to every one of you on this planet. This video is for all to see. All people around the world, left and right, up and down, anywhere. And I believe that some people, because some people have really easy and nice lives, and some go through it fairly unscathed and intact. And I hope you are among those people. But life takes a toll on all of us, and it's I almost know not even a single human being who hasn't been scathed in some way, shape, or form, either by my age or younger or even older. And I am here to offer any helpful support and motivation for free. All for free. There is no catch whatsoever. I am not one of those Machiavels who asks people to pay X amount of money for me to give you X amount of stuff. With me, you get everything. Everything for free. No questions, concerns, whatever. No hassle, bustle. I mean, if you have any questions, concerns down below, feel free to let me know, because I'm always willing to interact with my fans and my audience and to give them any helpful pointers and to adjust myself in any way needed if I feel like I'm not addressing the needs of you all. But I believe, because life is hard on all of us. We're all forced at some point to make decisions that we don't want to make. Or some people treat give us times, like rough times, like terrible experiences that we want to just so badly forget and get out of our minds. But as a human being, I can say everyone has at least something in life that they're not fond of or that they want to run away from, or something that has deeply bothered them or unsettled them, perhaps even traumatized them. And as a fellow trauma survivor, if you've been if any of you have been victims to any sorts of traumas, you're not alone, because I've been through them too. I've had PTSD for a long time, and I've survived it in the end. 3 years of rehab, but I wouldn't say the rehab was the successful part. The successful part was myself getting over it. Because during my many years in rehab, I've also met many people who I never wanted to meet and who've brought me down in so many different ways. I can only say one thing. I have known in my many years of rehab people who've done disgusting things. Some of which will shock you. Some have murdered some other people, and they are They are judiciary cases. I'm not going to discuss anything further because I respect their privacy and I'm not going to divulge any particularly sensitive or names of people or identifiers. I'm just going to say I've met people across my walk of life that did such disgusting things. Some shoved their girlfriends off of a ledge during an argument. Some others were sex offenders. Some others were borderlines. Some others were people who just had no conscience whatsoever. Some cold-blooded, some warm-blooded people. Some people with uncontrollable bouts of rage. Some people who are literally so cold as they're not even moved by the slightest human suffering. I have seen everything there is to see left and right during my 3 years of rehab, and I must say, people just gotta, some people just gotta let loose, get out of whatever mentalities they're stuck in, because it does them no good. It will do them no good, and it'll definitely do the rest of the world no good. I believe in only a happy way for people to live and coexist. And I believe that humans all across the world deserve the chance of a happy life. And I have a happy life now, post my rehab years, and post all the traumatic things I had to experience, and post all of the obstacles I had to surmount to get to this point. With only 23 years of age, you could say I've seen some things that some 40 and 50-year-olds haven't seen. But I'm not judging. Everyone has their own life experience, and I still have much more left to live and see, so I am by no means done. I am just saying that I have seen a lot for someone of my age. A 23-year-old shouldn't have to worry so much about having to surmount nasty people and surmount bad influences, like more than just bad influences, dangerous people even, because like I'll give my example. For when I was 4 years old, I wasn't talking. I was a late speaker. I barely spoke before preschool. My parents spent so much money on speech therapists. And then eventually I would start talking, they'd be relieved. And then I was talking like all the time. Then when many years later, 11 and a half years old, when I was in grade 4 or 5, I was studying very, very hard. I was towards my middle school years. I started being very inattentive in class because of all the changes growing up, everything. At 11 and a half, your brain is booming with chemicals left and right. And there is just no way straight forward from there. And when the my teachers in school were seeing how distracted I was and how I wasn't able to get any work done, they asked me to see a specialist. So in the end, I ended up seeing a child psychiatrist, then a psychologist. Then it led me into the hands of specialists who eventually prescribed me with medications and treatments that didn't do me any good. You might know some of these treatments like Ritalin, Adderall, um, Dexedrine in some countries around the world, lisdexamphetamine, methamphetamine, those are chemical names. Methylphenidate, that's one I've been on for particularly a long, long, long time. I've had non-stop problems on those chemicals, aggression, hot-bloodedness, just can't control my shit. I just couldn't stay I just couldn't stay calm. I couldn't stay at ease. I couldn't be myself. I was always churning and churning and churning and filled with aggression and filled with just nonstop energy, but not necessarily good energy, but bad energy, like agitated vibes, not excited vibes. I wasn't happy. I was stressed. I was stressed about performing, and that has damaged me in so many ways, and I healed from that damage. It took me so long to even heal from that damage, and the journey towards recovery was fraught with painful moments and so much like so much pain, psychological, emotional, and physical pain. I wouldn't wish that pain upon my worst enemy. Quite frankly, what I have endured over the course of my life has really affected me in so many ways that even to this day I wonder how I got out of it. But I did, and that's the good part. And I believe that every single human being, regardless of their walk of life, has only and deserves only the best of attention, of care, of reciprocation, of reciprocity, of they deserve only mutually good vibes. From me to them, from them to I. Only the best. Only the best. And I must say that I am appalled by the actions of some people that I've noticed during my rehab years. One of them, not going to drop any names, was a Belgian sex offender who repeatedly engaged in sexual offenses with several several people, and they were one of my roomies, forced roomies, because you don't really get to pick and choose your roomies in rehab. You're assigned with whoever's there, and it was rehab in a clinic rehab, like not like private practice rehab, but like psychiatric facility rehab, because I I have had such a rough time on methamphetamines, on legal methamphetamines, on psychostimulants. If I had the money to sue like Pfizer and all the major pharmaceutical brands of these kinds of chemicals, I would do it. But I don't, and I don't have the desire to embroil myself in such conflicts. I just try to move on and live happily. And I believe every single human being deserves to live a happy life. And every human being deserves nothing but the best, if you ask me. The best meaning the happiest, not the most perfect. And everyone has experienced doubt, pain, hatred, anger, hard actions from other people, tough moments in their life, traumatic phases, moments of depression, anxiety, doubt, confusion, uncertainty, insecurity. We've all dealt with that at some point. We've all dealt with that at some point, and if you haven't dealt with it yet, you're going to deal with it at some point. because everyone comes across that alley of life at some point. It's inevitable. Even the most basic organisms have issues surviving. Even bacteria in the water. They're often eaten up by other multicellular organisms like like frogs or fish in oceans. They even fish in the ocean who devour plankton. And I don't mean the SpongeBob character, but I mean they devour plankton like the seaweed, like the plants in the deep ocean. That's a good analogy. That's to say like everything happens. There's always like a predator prey cycle, and we humans are both in a way. We're both predators and prey to ourselves. Every single ripple action thing which is caused to and from us affects us. And with the way our society is structured and composed, it's just it's just impossible to not go through something life changing, because even even athletes even athletes have scandals at some point in their lives. Even artists at some point, well, many artists have endured traumas at some point in their life, be it in their childhood, teenage years, adulthood. So at any point in life, someone experiences through all positions, high and low, rich or poor, successful or unsuccessful. Everyone has, at some point, a struggle. And the key thing is staying happy in spite of that struggle can be very difficult. But it's something I've learned over the course of all of the traumatic moments and unpleasant moments that I've had to deal with in my life. Not just unpleasant, but really bad and some dangerous moments too. I mean, I've had to deal with violent violent sex offenders who were targeting me not sexually but psychologically and emotionally. Uh, Many of them who, well, one in particular who I mentioned earlier, which was targeting me by gaslighting me, greenlighting me. He was a Machiavellic psychopath and an unstable bipolar. That guy who I mentioned earlier, Belgian, um, encountered him in the rehab facility I've been for 3 years. Um, and I must say, I must say, the existence of such people, I seriously hope that they understand the lengths to where they're going and to what things and what repercussions are going to happen to all of us and themselves included if they go down that road. Whoever it takes to wake them up and whatever it takes to wake them up, I hope that at some point in time they'll realize what they've done and hopefully they'll come to terms with it, but also hopefully they'll understand where they screwed up and where how they made other people feel. I don't wish any sort of defeatism or humiliation of other people. I just wish that people realize their mistakes and stop, forgive, forget, and stay happy. I seriously believe that all of us stand a chance in this life, in this world, if we stick by our happiness, and if we stick together, and if we support each other through our best and worst of times, and if we make each other feel validated and cared for, then we stand a much better chance at going through life whole, unscathed, or as unscathed as possible. At least we're all happy and united and together, undivided, in not indifferent, but understanding of one another, and supportive, and listening, most importantly, and encouraging, because life throws all sorts of curveballs at us. It makes us deal with all sorts of unpleasant things, some that we might want to, some things we want to experience in life, like joy, happiness, fruition, success, well-being, thriving. And there's also some things that we don't want to experience: defeat, setback, or um, trauma, trauma, unease, anxiety, stress, whatever you want to call it. Everything that you don't want to deal with, everything that shortens your lifespan, that demands energy out of you, that drains you completely. Just by staying happy, you minimize that those things minimize your chances of seriously causing damage to you, or otherwise irreparably affecting your psyche, soul, or physique, or your inner character. And everyone deserves a minimum of respect, affection, regard, well-being. And I believe that humans left and right should just embrace themselves, embrace one another, give yourselves a pat on the back. And to anyone who's ever committed any atrocities, just stop doing what you're doing. Wake up. Realize who you're hurting around you. Realize that they could one day be helping you, one day be carrying you out of the ruts. And if they're not around anymore because you just wore them out, who's going to be there for you? I mean, it goes pretty self-explanatory. I've had even many friends or close friends, some from school, some from work, many from school, some from work, even some more in my personal life. I just wish that whoever I wish that whoever has been a victim to these sort of abuses finds solace, and that they find peace with whatever has happened to them, and that they move on, and that they live a happy life. And to their abusers, I say, seriously, stop doing what you're doing. Realize the harm that you're also doing upon yourselves, the abusers. And it's not going to help you. You're not gaining anything out of it. The only thing you're losing your own happiness, you're losing your own joy, you're losing your own circle of friends, you're losing your only people who could potentially pull you out of that mess. And every person at some point is drawn or pulled into conflicts and things that they don't like. That doesn't mean you gotta keep spreading it. I believe that everyone deserves freedom from abuse, freedom from atrocity, freedom from any sort of stereotyping is definitely the lesser evil in this picture. I mean, it's definitely an evil, and I can't say it's not a I can't say it's a good thing. I can't say it's something that I vouch for. But abuse, violence, aggression, be it physical, mental, emotional, sentimental, anyway, even manipulations of all those sorts, no good. It won't gain you any good, it won't gain anybody any good. And the way the world is evolving, it's like there are increasingly more and more cases of people being aggressed, abused on social media, in real life, at work, at school, some at home. And those ones touch me the most because I've always had a good life with my family. I've never had, other than when I was on meds, on psychostimulants, on legal methamphetamines, whatever you want to call them. I may have had a few altercations left and right on those, but those are swiftly and thankfully resolved, and those medications were removed, and I became normal again. And boy, I was like, did that all just happen? And it was nasty. I thought I was done, like mentally, like like these chemicals have ravaged me. Like I couldn't think or speak or emote or think or feel anymore. I thought I was literally dead in a way. Absence. The French call it absent, absent. It's like I just was so withdrawn that I couldn't even begin to think where I was at some points. That's why my message of positivity and happiness towards all my fans, all my people, all of the greater community, to all of this, to all of our fellow human beings, to all of humanity and society, and to everyone living on planet Earth, I say, smile, be happy. If you've done anything regretful, stop doing it. Make that Yui and just make up for it. Do what you must to restitute, to repair, to heal yourself and others, and live a happy life. And to anyone who's a victim of such moments, be they sexual traumas or psychological traumas or physical traumas or emotional traumas. I haven't had so much experience with sexual traumas, but with the others I have. But even towards sexual trauma survivors, I feel you all the way. All the way, because I have seen the worst in what humanity has to offer during my 3 years in rehab, and I saw nothing but the best. Living with my family, living with family and being with friends and loved ones and people who really cared about me and helped to foster a sense of positivity and growth. To all of my best friends of elementary school, high school, college, work, even at home, thank you. Thank you so much for all the positive, good times that we've had. And if you're watching this video, that's from me to you. And to anyone else who has done anything atrocious, atone yourselves. Find some way to get out of it. And just reach out to someone who can help, or I don't know, just stop doing what you're doing, or just reflect on yourself. Think, how would how would you be like if someone did that to you? Just common sense, it should wake you up. And for some people who are so psychologically disturbed to the point of where extreme measures would be a necessity, I would say reach out to someone if you're in that position. All I'm saying is I've seen so many things that a 23-year-old should have never noticed. The things that I noticed should were maybe okay for like 30, 40, 50-year-olds, you know. If I was much more mature dealing with these kind of things, I would have definitely taken maybe less of a hit, but still. I still can't imagine even anyone of any age dealing with what I've dealt with. The way humanity treats, I mean, not humanity, the way society treats some of its fellow humans. The way society treats humanity is not always ethical, is not always respectful, is not always nice, is not always right or happy or good. Just foster a sense of love, a sense of happiness, a sense of community, the way my parents raised me, the way my parents wanted me always to keep a smile on my face. They never wanted me to go through these hardships. Only some select teachers who were nasty to me at some point. Uh, only specialists who were non-considerate of having prescribed me with certain medications. Maybe they wanted to bolster my productivity, but what they ended up causing was a deluge of aggressive feelings, which may have impacted some more people, may have impacted quite a lot of people who I would have never done it to, my right mind. But those were all drugs and medications, and since then, I've done nothing to anyone. I've been, ever since coming clean 3 years ago, safe and sound. It's just while I was in rehab for 3 years, I have literally been traumatized, and I was traumatized even before heading into rehab, and I became only more traumatized during my rehab because I was being targeted. I was being targeted. Some people made up lies about me. Some people were psychosomatics in that rehab facility who made up lies about things that I've never committed. Some said I was a rapist, but I never raped a soul. And I've never touched another human being. And many of them interpreted things which I never even told to them. I've never raped a soul. I've never. If anything, the people who told me that, I mean, one of them was that Belgian sex offender. He's raped more people than I can think of in 2 seconds. So if he calls me a rapist, he's deluded, because I haven't touched a single woman in my life. Anyways, I the guy's not on my mind. The guy's not in my life. He lives somewhere way, way, way far away from me. He's nowhere near where I live, and thankfully so, because I'd be in a pretty hell of a pickle if he did live beside me, and he doesn't. There was also another guy, a Thai person, borderline bizarre mannerisms towards other people. Not gonna say his name out of respect for his privacy. But he was a borderline. He was like. He was by far definitely a lesser evil than than the Belgian sex offender. He was the worst by far. He was a greater evil, probably among the greatest evil I've ever faced. And oh, he didn't target me sexually because he was a guy. I was a guy. He was straight, and I'm straight. So he didn't target me sexually, but he targeted me psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically. And he vowed to destroy my life completely, completely. All because I refused to go to a whorehouse with him and screw with hookers and to meet up with some very nasty types in the sex trafficking slash porn slash exploitation slash sexual exploitation industry. He was probably a pimp or a he was probably a pimp or some other figure in that industry. Someone who I would have never associated with in my right mind, but I was forced into therapy with him, and he was forced into my room at that facility, and we were forced to get along in the same ward. And that's why I believe many rehab facilities for people who've been actual victims are no safe places. I encourage all victims who are currently seeking help or rehab or anything to get out of those places because they are infested with dangerous types, people who shouldn't be there, and it's the lockup. So they put people who are typically very dangerous and very aggressive and very deranged in there, and I have come across all sorts of deranged types in that hellhole of a rehab facility I've been in for 3 years, and forgetting it has been the single most demanding part of my life, and being able to regain my footing after all of that was gruesome. The moment my family took me home and put me again under their roof, again shows how much I love my family and how much I love my close ones. And many of my good close friends were there with me. Maybe not all, but many, many of them were there for me. And even to those who weren't, they're still with me now, and I filled them in. They feel me. Some of them have also endured similar abuses. I won't say names because I respect their privacy. And they're good friends of mine, so I won't expose them under any circumstances. They've had also some rough, rough times in life and many, many abuses. Endured, endured. They've endured and they've been victims to many abuses. Some of them. But to those who have been, you have my deepest support. And not just to people who I know, but maybe to people who I don't know. Anyone. If I can make a difference on this whole planet and make this whole planet happier and better, then I will. And I strive only for happiness, peace, positivity, and for a brighter future for everyone. And for a place where everyone can live happily, safely, peacefully, and not be bogged by harassers, offenders, people who are brainwashed by Machiavels or narcissists or perfectionists or egocentrists or egotists or anyone who's really in a profoundly entranced psychological state, which would make said person unlivable. Those people should re-examine themselves and find ways to atone, to come to terms with what they've done, and to realistically, seriously re-examine themselves, because if they don't, they're gonna get what's coming to them. They're gonna get the harsh treatment. Some of them may even fatally regret their decisions. I can't say, because it's not for me to say. And on this note, I wish everyone a peaceful, happy life. And I'll be making many, many more videos like this. This is the first of many. And hats off to myself and to all my friends and to all of you guys for being here. And I wish only to entertain you and to make you happy. And I'll keep you posted on any new rap songs, any new game vids, or any videos in general that I'll be posting on my YouTube channel. Peace and happiness. Peace, love, and happiness. See ya.